All right, guys, it's getting colder outside, which means it's gonna be the perfect weather for you and your girl, or girls, because I know how some of y'all act, to spend some quality time baking cookies. And that's exactly what we'll be doing in this video. Now, I know for some of you guys, it's gonna be your first time baking, period, but that's okay. I have a first super simple yet delicious recipe that you're gonna love. But if you're a little bit more advanced and waiting until the end, I have an even better recipe that's gonna infuse rich brown butter and 2 different types of chocolate chips. It's gonna be great, guys. Let's get cooking. So here are most of the ingredients for recipe number 1. And keep in mind, this one's gonna be optimized for simplicity. Let's get started. So we're gonna have 1.5 cups of regular all-purpose flour, 2 eggs that cost me about $10 a piece, 1 cup of brown sugar, and then 1/2 cup of light skin sugar. We're also gonna have a little bit of salt. I bring this out because the bottle's pretty, but we're gonna be using regular salt for the first one. We got vanilla, imitation vanilla, okay? No imitation vanilla slander will be tolerated, thank you. And then a little bit of baking soda in the end. There's a few more that we got going on over here, but we're gonna slowly be adding them as this recipe progresses. So now let's start putting it together. For our first order of business, we're gonna take about 3/4 cups of butter and simply toss it into the microwave. You know what else is simple? Subscribing to this channel. Guys, quick intermission. We reached our first milestone recently by getting to 100 subscribers, and I can't say how grateful I am. Our next goal is gonna be get to 300 subscribers, which I know is gonna be a tall task, but I have faith that this community is gonna be able to do it. So again, I have to say thank you, and let's get back to cooking. While Chef Mike is doing his thing, we're gonna start building our dough. Start off with the brown sugar. Follow that up with your 1/2 cup of white sugar. Next, we'll go in with a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Guys, now is not the time to be measuring with your heart. Please use those measuring cups that haven't seen the light of day in 4 years. It's gonna help you out a lot. And our butter should be done now. Ooh, hot, hot. Add the entire butter to the bowl. Now we're gonna grab a whisk and incorporate everything together. Everything should be coming together and you should have this exact consistency. You'll wanna add your flour in 2 parts so that things don't start clumping up. So just gently get that in there. Then we're gonna switch to a rubber spatula and gently fold all the components in. And I'll add the second half. We'll add in the rest of our wet ingredients now, starting off with 2 eggs. Throw in your 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Maybe a little bit more, but that's okay. And in you go. Throw in a pinch of salt. Only a pinch, guys. If you're sneezing while seasoning these cookies, go ahead and throw the whole thing away. Now for everyone's favorite part, we're gonna add in about 2 cups of semi-sweet chocolate chips. The key here is to gently blend everything in. All right, so I already saran wrapped it. Now we've come to a pivotal part of this process. We're gonna need to chill it for at least 30 minutes if we want these to turn out right. So let's go ahead and put them in the fridge. If you haven't already, this will be a great opportunity to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. And for my new guys out there, make sure you let the oven come all the way up to temperature. You don't want to be putting in your cookies while it's still rising. They're not going to turn out well. Now guys, this recipe is pretty similar to the last one, except there are some key differences. Namely, we're going to be browning our butter and we're going to be switching up the measurements a bit. So here we go. Get your favorite pan over a medium-low heat this time. Grab a stick of butter, back about 10 feet away. Get that bad boy up in there, let's go. And yes, I know, this isn't gonna be an entire cup of butter. I'm not gonna throw an entire cup of butter, y'all are crazy. You'll wanna keep your heat floating at that medium to medium-low range. If it starts to bubble, that's okay. Just continue to mix everything around. The main thing you're looking for is gonna be a dark brown color in here. And then you're also gonna smell the sweetness of the milk solids start to come out at the end. Now it's been about 10 minutes or less and here's what we're looking like. You can see all those brown bits at the bottom. That's exactly what we're looking for. So we're gonna go ahead and turn the heat off and then get this into a pan. This butter is extremely hot at this point, so you wanna use caution when pouring it into your bowl. It's gonna go in just like that. Taste-wise, this is good to go right now, but it is a little bit too hot to start a cookie dough recipe with this. So we're gonna pop it in the freezer for about 10 minutes so that it could really cool down. Here goes one of those key differences that we mentioned earlier. So you're still gonna have 2 eggs within this recipe, but one, you're gonna put the whole thing into the bowl. The other, you're only gonna use the yolk and make sure that the egg white doesn't get in there. After disinfecting your sink and your hands, go ahead and add in that same cup of brown sugar. After, we're still going with a half cup of white sugar. Here's another point that things will vary. We're gonna be adding in 3/4 a teaspoon of baking soda. Then to make the cookies even fluffier, we're gonna add in 3/4 a teaspoon of baking powder. And 3. Before we mix this for the first time, we're gonna be upping the amount of vanilla extract to 1 tablespoon. And preferably, if you can get pure vanilla extract as opposed to the imitation, it's gonna make it just that much better. As for salt, we're gonna lower it down a little bit to half a teaspoon. Now we're gonna get all of that mixed in. This is about the consistency that we're looking for. So now we got everything mixed together, and now it's finally time to ruin my black sweatshirt. We're gonna go in with 1 cup of all-purpose flour. And don't be afraid to do this in batches just like we did last time, because the more flour you put in, the harder it's gonna be to come out. To me, this is arguably the key difference maker in this second recipe. To make it even more fluffier, to make it tastier, to really boost that texture, we're gonna be adding in 3/4 cup of cake flour to the mix. You can get this at most grocery stores. It's gonna be in the same aisle as regular flour. And it didn't cost that much more. Your brown butter should be cool by now, so we're gonna go ahead and add this in a couple different increments. Let's start off with about half of it and then get that mixed in. Now, if you're doing it like me and mixing by hand instead of a stand mixer, this may take a couple minutes to do, but hopefully you're enjoying your quality time with that special person in your life and just having fun while doing it. Then I'm just gonna get all the rest in there. Don't forget the brown bits are the most important. And just like before, we'll add in about 2 cups of semi-sweet chocolate. And just to top things off, we're gonna be adding in these semi-sweet chocolate bars. They're really great for baking, and in my opinion, if you get the right brand, such as Ghirardelli, whatever it's called, it's really gonna enhance the flavor up to that next level. And you'll just want to chop these so that they all are in bite-sized manageable pieces, but some should be a little bit larger than the other and vice versa. I'm gonna just take about half of that chocolate and scoop it on in. You want there to be chocolate in every piece of your cookie dough. Now guys, the real catch to this recipe is that it needs to marinate. I know you're thinking, marinate cookie dough? That's a little bit crazy, but honestly, this has to go in the fridge for at least 24 hours. And I recommend a little bit longer than that if you want all the flavors to combine and if you get the maximum effect of all the work we just put in. Fortunately for us, we don't have to wait. Thank you, Movie Magic. But if we did have to wait, that'd give you more than enough time to go check me out on Instagram and TikTok, where I post a lot more of my short form content. Anyways, on my left is gonna be my quick and easy recipe dough, and on the right is gonna be my slightly fancy, more than bougie, extra chocolate chip cookie dough. All right, so here's how we're gonna do it. You know, I'm pretty classic. Let's start off with the regular one. So I usually try and get balls that are no bigger than a golf ball. Roll that up in my hand. And I think about this size is good right here. I mean, if you could zoom in on that cameraman who doesn't exist. These aren't gonna spread incredibly wide, but I would recommend giving them at least an inch or two of space in between. Now we have some of our more fancy dough, and we're gonna do the exact same thing. I know some people like to put down foil or maybe some sort of parchment paper on the bottom, and you're more than welcome to do that. See, this is a little bit too big. We're gonna take some of that off, get that back in there, and try one more time. But yeah, guys, I prefer a clean and dry cookie surface. I believe that gives it the best texture and crispiness at the bottom. Now we finally have our cookies ready. We're gonna pop these in here for about 11 minutes, check on them, and go from there. And that's time. Now, I know it's tempting to eat these right away, but you need to let them rest for about 5 minutes or so. They'll still be warm, but at least the dough needs time to set. And there you have it. Chocolate chip cookies, 2 different ways. On this side, we have our quick, easy 30-minute recipe that does taste good, but not my favorite. On this side, we have our rich, brown butter, chocolate-filled, 72-hour cookie recipe. And man, I gotta tell you guys, the camera really doesn't do it justice. The texture of these with the enhancement of the cake flour really takes it up to a whole new level. Plus, you have a lot more chocolate in there and a much more balanced flavor profile. Just want to say thank you again for 100 subscribers. I really appreciate each and every one of you all. If you know somebody who's just getting into baking, be sure to share this video with them. And as always, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like so you don't miss anything from the date night.